The course was a real surprise. I was familiar with all the separate components, but when they were brought together to help us in a safe environment explore all our myths about food and our bodies and our relationship with ourselves and the big world and all that advertising, comfort food and so on, it gave us the opportunity to try again. It gave us tools and resources to tackle some of our barriers, some of our denials, in my case, all kinds of dichotomies between my understanding. I also had been able to kid myself that because I wasn't technically or medically obese, perhaps it all worked out and I managed clumsily. But in this course, I confronted a real lifelong distorted history of either undereating or overeating, but very rarely just eating for health and nutrition. It's 12 weeks now. I've actually been keeping a little note in my diary because it's something to celebrate every week. And because, of course, at first I fell into, well, while the course is on, but as soon as I'm out there in the big, bad world of constant ads and constant snackettes in the kitchen calling to me,
food has a voice, it does call out,
and don't waste me. How could you waste me in this world where people are starving? How could you abuse us in that way? I thought, it's great. Well, we've got the safety net and each other and the guidance and the cognitive behavioral techniques. And I thought once I was out of that context and the work that kicked in week 2 feels, and I might be, it's not about a diet. It feels permanent because it's not about putting yourself to a test. It feels permanent because it actually isn't about food and it isn't about my body shape at all. It's about choosing what I need for my health and well-being and taking great pleasure in the benefits that those choices give me. I have inevitably lost considerable weight. I have gone either to or very near to what I would describe as my original or natural, the ones in the magazines that everybody desires, but it was mine, and it feels great to be home again, to put my hands on my hips, and there's actually hips there which were a wee bit lost in pudge. It's fantastic because I enjoy yoga, not to be concussed by bits of blob coming at me from various directions, and it's nice to be able to correct and improve my postures and therefore put a lot more and get a lot more out of yoga. Because I'm moving more comfortably. I had a knee operation, and going into the surgery, coming out of the surgery, and I didn't stuff face out of boredom and frustration. And when I was moving around, I felt better about the weight that I was carrying on the ever-improving limbs. It was lovely to work with the other women.
I was going to ask about working with the group, because that can sometimes be quite challenging, sort of working in a group and exposing. But how did that feel for you?
The group dynamic was, from the onset, very open, very warm, very generous, very anything other than passionately interested in getting to know my sisters and hearing about their journeys and their processes and their experiences. We were all very different, and yet we spoke a common language, and it was lovely finding that in the room. We had so very much we could share. I don't know, I've seen 2 of the women after that and had very positive experiences because we formed links and bonds and mutual understandings through the course, and that's lovely because instead of having the experience of the course was just completely good. And there were little moments for me of breakthrough and click, 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 and light bulbs going on, but when there weren't, it was still a good experience. And who'd have thought that 6 sessions could turn around real ingrained habitual behavior, which of course turns out not to have been so much behavior as attitude.
Yes.
It turned out those attitudes and challenge, and they were easy to topple over. They were artificial. They were a house of cards that I hid within. And I needed a good sneeze to knock
blow them all
down.
down.
And I'm mixing my metaphors and my cliches, but it makes a big difference to feel positive at night about the link between your well-being and your food intake. Feel positive in the morning. No food hangovers.
Right.
I don't yearn for anything. I don't crave. I don't miss. I don't see something, deprive myself, and then afterwards think I need to resist the content of food in a way that I had been intellectually capable of doing. But oh, how I kidded myself.
Yeah, we do that. We do that with food.
I know, and I'd like to pay tribute to men and women who are comfortable whatever size they are. I was never comfortable-headed. I'm perfectly able to embrace the feminist perspective. It's nobody's business but mine. But there were a horde of reasons that it never in any way suited me to carry extra weight. Startling, refreshing combination of bringing ourselves through the expressive writing to something that enhanced our lives and our well-being.